Okay, welcome. So this is Dr. Morton. So this is class day 22, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the group project. The lecture I did on Monday, I didn't have the, I didn't capture the actual part of the screen I wanted to show you. So I'm going to redo that, and I'm going to show you how to do the, how to kind of set up your simulation if you haven't already done it, and hopefully you'll have tomorrow to get that all done. And then and maybe a little bit of time Monday morning, and then present it. So I want everybody in the class to make sure you're participating in your group. So let me just hit. Well, first let's go to the syllabus real quick here. Yeah. So here's the syllabus, and you can see. So this lecture is really for Friday. Sorry, I'm just getting it done today. I totally forgot. That's what happened. Had a busy weekend and didn't think about it. But anyway, so we're going to do it, and I'm gonna do the little piece that I missed on Monday. On Wednesday, I think I worked through a test to hopefully get you kind of thinking about the upcoming test. This week we're not going to have the test. It's going to be next week. And you can see so. Anyway, this was just review for the test for Friday, so I'll do a little bit of that. I'm also going to do some prep for the project. And then this week, so for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we just had live group presentations. So what I'll do is I'll do some more test reviews on the Monday lecture and the Friday lecture. But this lecture is actually for last Friday, okay? Yeah. And then next week, we'll review on some more on Monday, and then Wednesday we'll have the test. It'll be online, of course, and I want everybody to do well, so make sure you study, and I'll go over the stuff you need to know. Okay, having said that, let's get rid of that, and then what I'm going to do is I want to go into the Logisim thing and talk a little bit about that. Okay, so if you look at the website, here we are on the website, and you go down to the group project folder right here, and you click on that, there are a number of files in here. So we've been over this before. Hopefully all of you have your project from this new Appendix A, and then you've used the worksheet, which I'll bring up here, and hopefully I know you've done this. You've filled out your 5 letters using this little thing here, and then you filled in your truth table. Since you only have 3 inputs and you only have to do 5 letters, you have 3 inputs that aren't used, and those are don't cares. You can pick those as 1s and 0s on any particular K-map however you want. And then you have to do K-maps for all the outputs. Now some of them may be identical, in which case you only have to do 1 K-map for both of them. In some of them they may be all 1s or all 0s, in which case no bother to do a K-map. You just, well, not counting the don't cares. But if you make the don't, say if you have 1s in the first 5 rows and then you have 3 don't cares, then the whole thing's a 1, and you just connect that particular segment to VDD so it's on all the time, okay? And then there may be some segments where they're all 0s, including 3 don't cares, so you make the 3 don't cares 0s, and you just connect that segment to ground so it's always off. And then the ones that do change, then you have to identify all those, okay? You also have to remember that when you do the K-maps, if you're doing a NOR solution, you're looking for the max terms. If you're doing a NAN solution, you're looking for the min terms, the 1s. So in one case, you're doing the 0s for the max terms, the POS solution. In the other case, you're doing the 1s, the min terms, for the SOP solution. And the SOP solution, you can double invert, and you can convert it to a NAN format. The POS solution, okay, let me say that again. The SOP solution, the min terms, you can double invert it, and you can get the NAN solution. The POS, the max terms, the 0s, you can double invert that, and you get a NOR solution. So make sure you're using POS if you've got NOR, and SOP if you've got NAN. Okay, so you fill that out, and then you do your K-maps. You look for shared terms and see where you can reduce gates. and then you do your you switch things to NAND form or NOR form, and you do your final circuit in Logisim or whatever simulator you want. Okay, so so let's see, we'll go back here to the group project folder. So some of the other things in here, there's a little video here which I'd like you to watch, and then down here is the hex display for Logisim. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this, and it's going to download. And so now what I'm going to do, I'll close this and I'll bring up Logisim. So and here for some reason it was goofball, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to open, actually I can probably do open recent. Well, it should be right here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, now you can't see that, which is really interesting to me. So I'm a little confused about that, but let me see if I can. Oh yeah, okay. Let me see if I can move this and shrink it down so you can see it. Oh, I know what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to do a window. Ah, yeah. Okay. Here's the deal. I have to. Okay, hang on. Okay, so now I've resized it, and hopefully this looks a little better. Now, so notice the other end of these LEDs is automatically connected to ground, and so I've set up the segments. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, I think 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or something like that. Anyway, they're labeled correctly in the other thing. All right, so how do we turn those on? Okay, so let's put up a little button. Here's a button, and we'll put one here, and then we'll run a wire from, say, here to the button. Okay, and then we'll get the little poke tool. We turn the button on, and oh, we didn't. I guess we didn't get the wire connected. Let's try this again. All right, now the poke tool. So when we poke it, now notice a couple of things. If the wire is a 1, it's green, and if it's connected to this, it should turn it on. And in fact, we can hook it up to a bunch of other segments too, or we can do another button. Here's another button, and we can do another wire from this button. Notice the only place you can connect to this button is where that little green circle pops up. If you don't connect there, then it'll be dinged up. And then we can turn that button on, and we can turn this one off or on. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is we're going to have you put a gate in. So let's do a gate here, and we'll connect this gate, say, to this segment here. Now right now it's red, which means it's not being driven. It's kind of in an unknown state. And then if we take a wire and we put it to one input there, and we take this wire, sorry, didn't want to do that. We take this and we go up here, and say we come in. All right, now you can see if either one of these goes off, well, we turn off both segments because both of these inputs have to be 1. The ones that are connected are automatically set to be 1s. And then if I turn this button back on, it comes off. If I do this one, these 2 segments go off, but that stays on. Okay. Anyway, so that's how you can hook this up, and you can modify these a little bit if you want. You can move them around, but anyway, that just gives you the ability to do a 16 segment display. Okay. Now, use these buttons. Make sure, now one of the things that one of the other groups did is we have, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this, wiring. So here's power. So if I just connect power here, and then I want to connect here for this one, and just connect to there. That leaves that one on all the time. And then if I do a ground, let's say I do ground, then I do this one, and notice now it's going to go to dark green. It won't be blue anymore. It'll be dark green. And that means it's going to always be off. Okay? Now look what happens though if I connect from here all the way to, say, to this pin here. Notice how it turns red, dark red. That tells you there's a short circuit or there's a problem. So this is all screwed up and things aren't going to work right, okay? Because I've basically connected what I'm driving this with say 5 volts, and I'm grounding it at the same time. So that creates a short circuit. So obviously I don't want to do that. So if you get red lines, you know there's some kind of problem, okay? Now see, it goes back to dark green. That's fine. That's what we want. And you can always delete these one segment at a time. You highlight them and it'll only delete that segment. I think if you play with it, you'll find these are really fun and easy to play with. One of the things I encourage you to do, if I make this a little bigger here, and I'm going to slide this over a little bit, take some of this out. Let's say I put in my buttons, okay? So use these buttons up here. The buttons down here, there are buttons down here. Input, output. But this button, the problem with this button is that see, now it's grounded, but I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to delete this. Okay. So now it's off. If I push it, while I'm pushing it, it's on, but I can't leave it pushed. If I push it, as soon as I let go, it goes back to off. But these buttons, I can turn these on, and or off, and I can turn them back on. So you should use the button up here, and not the button down here. Okay. All right. So another thing, you can always delete these things. And okay, now what I should do, if you put this like this, you can move this around, and you can move this around. So you're going to have 3 buttons, and what I recommend you do is also have 3 inverters, 1 for each button, and set this up. And one of the students did this, and I think it makes great sense. I've done stuff similar to this. So what we do is we just do some wires. So I'm going to have 6 wires. Oops. No, here. No. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess I have to do this. So I'm going to do, I'll go here. So we're going to connect there, and then we're also going to connect here. Okay, and then here we're going to connect. Now the whole idea here is okay, so now these buttons are set to 1s. Notice that the inverted parts are not. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to run buses here, 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 and then I'll go the other direction. Now when you want, let's say you want to connect, we'll say this, and then you can also highlight these, and you get this down here. You can label it. So let's put on the label. We'll call this A, and we'll put it on the west. So that should put it over there. Yep. And then we'll call this B, and it should put it at the same place. And we'll call this C. And now we've labeled these, and so now we'll turn them all off. Oh, I can't do that. You have to use the poke tool. Off, off, off. So notice now the inverted inputs. So what we actually have is we have A prime, B prime, C prime. So let's say we have this AND gate here, and we want to connect this AND gate to say we want to generate the term A, B prime, C prime. So we'd start here on the A. Well, actually, I don't want to do that. I'll delete that. So I'm going to I'll start right here, and I'll take one straight in here. And then that's A, and then B prime. B prime is going to be the, so that's B prime. So we'll do B prime right here. And then C prime. And I'll just do C prime right here. Okay, and so now if I want to turn on that AND gate, I'll punch the A. And now we have A, B prime, C prime, and it turns on. But if we have B, then it turns off. Or if we have C, it turns off. If we have A prime, it turns off. Okay? So only when you have A, B prime, C prime. And notice how easy it is to get to the right button I want. And you can even space these out a little bit. You can also leave some more extra room. And I encourage you to, it's really smart if you, take your gates and you kind of, yeah. Okay, so we have a little piece here. We have to delete that little piece. Okay, now it should move a little better. Yeah, it does. And you can also move it around like this. But it's better if you don't have a lot of bends in your wires. So then if you take another AND gate and you put it, and of course you're going to use NAND gates or whatever. So here's another, keep these lined up, and then so maybe move it like that. And then here's another one. It's always good if you really organize it. And then notice, okay, I can put in, well, here, I probably just want to go straight if I can. So that's C prime, B, and we'll do A. And I probably should have done them in order too, to keep it even better. So if we have A, B, oops, I have to use the poke tool. A, B, C prime turns on this AND gate. All right, so hopefully you get the idea. So this definitely is the best way to organize things. And obviously you're going to have a two-layer net. You're going to have a set of inputs, and they're going to be NANDs. So you want to go down here. I saw some people using AND gates with inverters on the output. You don't need to do that. Just go down here for gates, and here's an AND gate right there. Or if you're using NOR gates, here is a NOR gate right there. Already has the bubbles on the output. Okay, and then if you need to use an inverter, then just pop one of the inverters and pop it in place like I did these. So you should probably set your inputs up like this with 3 inverters so they're all available. And then what you should also do, as much as you can, you want to share terms. So when you're all done with your design, you have the fewest number of gates you feel like you can get by with, fewest number of inverters. Obviously, we'll consider these 3 inverters free. They won't count against your totals. But the rest of the stuff, see if you can get minimal solutions. And obviously, NAND, NOR. In some cases, you may have to have say a NAND gate, and then you might have to take take the inverter and put the inverter on the output because just because of the way it's set up. Like that. All right, and then of course we turn this and then, oops. See, that changes it, and this changes it too. All right, so that should give you some ideas about how to work on your simulation. Okay, I want to keep this one fairly short to help you get going on your simulation. If you have any problems, come see me. I'll be around tomorrow. Before my I'll come in for my 11:30 lab, and then I'll probably be in my office from 12 to 12:30 or so, something like that, and then I may break out. So try and catch me right at noon in my office if you need help. All right, or send me an email if you have to work out a different time. All right, I think with that, I'm gonna terminate this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a little. I'll work through another test for the lecture for today. Okay, and I'll post this one for Friday. All right, we will see you in just a few minutes in a new video.